the name of humanity to come together and demand Trump must go now. And we are fighting this country and right here in the seat of power, Washington, D.C., in nonviolent but sustained protest. That means not for one day and say, okay, we made our point, we're going home. Not just to get it off our chest how outraged we are, but to come and make a demand and come back again and again in growing numbers, relentlessly, until we create such a political earthquake from below that everybody in power has to respond to our demand. We are not stopping until Trump is removed. We are not stopping until Trump is removed because we recognize that the nature of fascism is that its atrocities get greater and greater, and they move to violently shut down any space for anybody to oppose them, unless they are removed from power. There is no compromise with fascism. There is no waiting it out. There is no hoping it goes away. There is no containing it. Either we drive it out or it drives over all of us and humanity's future. And just this week, just in the last week, we saw Donald Trump get out and call for the execution by hanging of Democratic elected officials for what? Because they told enlisted troops what their oath actually is. All they did is express what's written into their oath and into the Constitution. And Donald Trump said they should be hanged. This is a massive, massive escalation in violence and threat, and already Senator Slotkin, one of the women in the video calling for people to remember their oath and disobey illegal orders, says she has gotten more than 1,000 death threats. Donald Trump knows he is unleashing violence and terror against his opponents, and that is by design. So whether or not he follows through anytime soon in a public execution, he is calling forward and green-lighting that from his supporters. And meanwhile, he is busy calling nonviolent protesters domestic terrorists. That's right. So we recognize that he is moving to close off the space for anybody to oppose him. And he's doing this because he knows, or at least those around him who may be a little bit more strategic know, that there are millions and there are tens of millions in this country who deeply hate what he is doing to our immigrant sisters and brothers, who deeply hate what he is doing by erasing and attacking the rights of trans people and LGBT people generally. That there are tens of millions of us who hate the fact that right now in half the states across this country, women cannot get a safe, legal abortion. There are tens of millions of us who hate the fact that he is carrying out illegal assassinations of fishermen off the coast of Venezuela merely on his say-so. We hate the attacks on science. We hate the attacks on education. We hate what he is doing to the planet. And we have the power, in our millions, we have the power to drive him out nonviolently. And this is a power that we have to exercise. So it is so important, so precious, so important, so righteous, so beautiful that you are here today. Make some noise for yourselves. How many of you were out here when we surrounded the White House with crime scene tape the first time? How many of you were out here the time we did it last Monday? How many of you are here for the first time with us? Okay, so that's beautiful because what we are doing is building a movement that's coming back again and again. So it's good people are returning again and again. And it's also good that new people are joining us, and we have to escalate this dynamic. We have to grow. And those of us here today, we're going to have a few speeches, and then we're going to stretch this crime scene tape around the scene of the crime. And we are going to be taking this as far as we can. The first time we made it 1 mile around. It's a 2-mile circumference. Each time we want more people to fill it in and fill it in all the way around. And then 10 deep with tens of thousands, then 100 deep with hundreds of thousands, and soon with millions. So when we do this, we are holding a place for everybody else who is still out there hoping that they can wait to the midterms, or hoping that they can just lay low and this will blow over, or hoping that it is enough to mention or defend your neighbors or stand up in education, all of which is important. We have to drive Trump out. So we are doing this today as part of building the power of the people to drive Trump from power. All right, so with that, I want to bring up our first speaker. She is a student who came out here all the way from California. This is her second trip here. She's been leading and organizing other students to stand up. Where is she? Cameron, come to the mic. Give some love to. She's also a marshal. All right, this is Cameron, y'all.
All right, hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Give me a second to pull up my notes because that's where all of this is written down. But hi, I'm a student. I'm a college student at a community college out in California, in the Bay Area. That's where I'm from. Shout out California. Thank you. I wanted to give you guys 2 little fun facts about me so you get an idea of where I'm coming from. I was born the same year that California legalized gay marriage. And the first president that I can remember being in charge of our company, it feels like a company, in charge of our country was Barack Obama. So, it's weird. It's really weird watching all this happen. And while our government has and is extremely flawed in ways that I can't fully get into right now without talking everybody's ear off, watching a government that was heading in such a seemingly progressive direction be slammed down so violently was a very shocking experience. And I think a lot of people, especially those around my age, are feeling that right now and freezing in their panic. I mean, all we've been taught to do is how to work or go to school or stay inside of a building looking at a screen that's trying to get you to buy something. It's terrible. And when you get upset about a systematic issue, we're told to self-care our way out of it. But no amount of self-care is going to save us when we're living under a fascist police state. To those of you at home doubting whether this is a fight worth joining, I ask you this. When we no longer have any notion of choice in how our government functions and how it destroys our communities, ecosystems, and entire planet, will the convenience you had now be worth it? In a similar vein, a quote from the director/activist/artist Alanis Obamsawin: "When the last tree has been cut down and the last fish caught, the last river polluted, only then we will realize that one cannot eat money." Yeah. So yeah, I just need everyone, not just the people here, but people listening at home, to take a moment to realize what a critical moment we are living through right now, that all of us are living through. Like, really sit with it for a minute. We're facing a regime that has control of every branch of our government, that has access to every weapon you could ever imagine, and is putting an absurd amount of this control in the hands of a man-baby. It's a daunting feeling to think that's what we're dealing with, but we are out here regardless, because we are strong in our unity and diversity, and we know that now is a time to take a stand, even when faced with cheap intimidation tactics. Many of us have also learned to turn our fears into a chance to ground ourselves and then take action to get things done. We don't freeze in our fear. We use it to move forward. We here today are going to make it undeniable that we, the people, don't want a fascist dictator. We need every single person we can get out here so we can stand a chance at driving this regime from power. So do what you gotta do, but get your ass out here to DC. Yeah, and I just want to say, I know it's a huge ask. It is a lot of sacrifice to get out here. This is like the 3rd week I've skipped of school so I can get out here. which is also not making money from the job I work at. So I'm poor and I'm behind in my classes, but it's better than having a fascist dictator. Yeah. And so we have to know when to put our foot down and say enough is enough. This regime and all oligarchs and fascists alike are absolutely terrified of us uniting radically across boundaries of all kinds to find our collective power and use it to fight back against the rampant, systematic abuses of our marginalized communities. Because when we recognize that we as people who all have to work or struggle just to live, we have way more similarities than we do differences, including the similarity that we all want these fascist tyrants out of our government and prosecuted for their crimes against humanity. So, yeah, it means missing out on things we'd rather be doing. I know people want to go to their yoga classes. People want to go hang out at bars. I miss the first Halloween where all my friends turned 21, and I turned 21. Miss that, but it's worth it. So, yeah, sometimes it sucks, but we do it because we have to. Because the alternative is a fascist regime that is plucking away our rights one by one, while so many people are just passively watching it happen. What does that turn us into as a people? To continue to turn away no matter what atrocities are in front of us. If you're going home after this protest, I want you to ask these questions not only to yourself, but to anyone in your life who is passively watching our democracy fall to fascism. We cannot be bystanders to such blatant injustices. And to all of you who have come out today to show that we, the people, will stand strong against the repression, brutality, and injustices faced by the everyday people of not only this country, but of all humanity, thank you. Your presence, strength, and sacrifice may just be what drives the millions we need from across the country to gather here in our nation's capital, day after day, until the Trump's despicable regime is driven from power.
Let me hear you say, Trump must go now. 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 Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya, Trump. Fuera, fuera, Donald Trump. Fuera, fuera, Donald Trump. Fuera, fuera, Donald. Let me hear you say, fuera, fuera, Donald Trump. Fuera, fuera, Donald Trump. Fuera, fuera, Donald Trump. Fuera, fuera, Donald Trump. Let me hear you scream. Are we ready to surround the White House with crime scene tape today? Yes. Because there are criminals in the White House. Have you heard the latest news? James Comey and Letitia James' cases have been dismissed. And why is that? Because the Trump-appointed attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindsay Halligan, was appointed illegally. That's a crime. That's a crime. So we're doing the right thing. I'm so glad that you all are out here today. Those of you who have stayed past the rally and all the events that happened November 20th through the 22nd, if you're still here, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, okay. I didn't know if I was too loud. All right. Okay, so next on the mic we have, let me make sure I get the name right, Kelly Michael Williams. He's running for Congress. He is an ANC commissioner and formerly homeless. Let's give a warm welcome to Kelly Michael Williams. He's coming to the mic.
Good afternoon. What's up, DC? What's up, Refuse Fascism? Let's hear it for Refuse Fascism, and let's get this man out of the White House. My name is Kelly Michael Williams, and I'm running for Congress. And I'm running now, right here in this nation's capital, because we're fighting something bigger than policy. We're fighting our democracy, our dignity, and for each other. This rally, Refuse Fascism, is in the name of humanity. We must refuse to accept a fascist America and get back to the power to the people. The power of the people is the only thing that will ever defeat fascism. It is the only thing that has ever bent the arc of history toward justice. Today, the power is with us, standing together, refusing to be silenced, refusing to be executed, refusing to be pushed aside and pushed back, refusing to accept a government that tells us who deserves rights and who doesn't. I'm not running for Congress because it's easy. I'm running because I've lived what has happened when a system fails you. I've seen it as a single father, trying to hold my family together. I've seen it when I spent nights wondering where my son and I would sleep. I saw it when I cared for my mother, as Alzheimer's and dementia slowly took her life from me, fighting every single day for her dignity and healthcare system that is designed to confuse, exhaust, and drain us. That experience didn't leave me bitter, but it did make me determined that Trump must go. Healthcare isn't just a policy issue. It's a human right issue. It's about dignity. It's about whether your parents can age in peace. It's about whether you or your child can have care without sacrificing your future. Right now, that dignity is being denied. Families are being priced out, pushed out, and left out. Mental health care is out of reach. Chronic conditions go untreated, and our seniors are suffering alone. We need universal coverage. We need Medicare for all. We need community clinics, mental health support, and home-based care. We need a system that wraps around people instead of abandoning them. The same is true for housing. I was once homeless in the city with my young son, living in the back of my car. And I know what it feels like to not be seen or to feel invisible when the government doesn't help you, doesn't support you. To feel like you're surviving day to day like the government is looking the other way. Housing is safety. Housing is stability. Housing is health care. It's our foundation. But in a city overflowing with luxury condos and too many of our neighbors sleeping in tents and shelters and cars, that is not a failure of resources. That's a failure of priorities. We need permanent supportive housing, not endless, inhumane encampment sweeps. We need real affordable housing, built for real people, not real estate portfolios. And while we fight for these basic rights, we still have to fight for one simple and more important fundamental thing, and that's our democracy. I've worked in government 25 years as an ANC chair, as a director of constituent service on DC Council, as a legislative aide and a White House staffer, and as someone who has helped my neighbors battle landlords and navigate the complete system that's often seen designed to tear them down and make them quit. But let me tell you something. What Congress is doing to our nation's capital is not just disrespectful, it's un-American. Over 700,000 taxpayers live in this city. That's veterans, teachers, first responders, parents, seniors, you and me, people who are working 2 jobs just to pay the rent. And yet Congress treats us like second-class citizens, blocking our laws, undermining our safety, deploying troops in our streets. If that's not authoritarian control, I don't know what it is. It's time. In fact, it's past time for full DC statehood. We don't want symbolic statehood. We want full rights, full representation, and full democracy. Because the fight for fascism begins here. It begins by refusing to let anyone dictate and tell us that our city doesn't count. My campaign isn't about me. It's about us. It's about building a state where no one is invisible, where policy is rooted in lived experiences, where every person, housed and unhoused, young and old, black, white, and brown, has a voice and a vote that matters. If you've ever been overlooked, if you've ever been underestimated, if you've ever been ignored, my campaign is for you. The last election, I finished second, and I missed it by that much. But you know what it taught me? It taught me that this city was ready, that the people are hungry for a representative who has lived the struggle, not just read about it. Someone who will fight like hell because I've lived fighting like hell every day of my life. If you give me this privilege to serve you in Congress, I will carry your voice with me every single day. Not because it's politically convenient, but because I won't forget who put me there, and I won't forget who I'm serving. Because at the end of the day, I'm a servant leader. I lead through service, not demands. So Trump must go. I lead with compassion, not vindictiveness. So Trump must go now. I lead now, not terrorism. So Trump must go now. I lead with values, not opportunism, because this is never about me and power. It is always about us. So Trump must go now. It's about the single parent trying to hold it all together. So Trump must go now. It's about the senior who deserves dignity. So Trump must go now. It's about the neighbor fighting to stay housed. So Trump must go now. It's about every resident in this city who has been told in ways big and small that their voice doesn't count. But it does, and you count. So Trump must go now. And together, we're going to make sure that this country hears us when we say, Trump must go now. So let's stand up, because Trump must go now. Let's speak out, because Trump must go now. Let's fight back, because let's show this nation what power to the people really looks like, because Trump must go now. Thank you very much. I'm Kelly Michael Williams. Help us out. Go to Kelly Michael for DC. Volunteer. Support us. Help us out. God bless our troops. God bless our nation's capital. And God bless America, because Trump must go now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Trump must go now. 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 Danger, danger, there's a fascist in the White House. To us, to try and out.
Good afternoon, Washington, D.C. Once again, it was my pleasure to drive down here from the great Garden State of New Jersey to join all of you in the streets to demand that Trump must go now. I really want us to get to a very simple message that each and every one of us needs to share with the people who aren't here. We all have to be deputized as organizers in our home communities. The really simple message is fascism bad? Is Donald Trump a fascist? Do you believe that a massive grassroots mobilization here in our nation's capital that then spreads out into every town and city around the United States is how we will drive the fascist Donald Trump from power? If you here today, or you watching at home, just said yes, yes, and F yes, then please join us as we continue to be here in the streets of D.C. day in and day out. Spread it out into our communities around the United States. So now we've talked about why collectively we are all here. I would like to briefly tell you about why I am here. As was mentioned in the introduction, I am a Christian liberation theologian by academic study and praxis. I see at least one cleric out there in the crowd. Is there anyone else here that would identify as a Christian? You can raise your hand just so we see it. I want to see it. Please raise your hands. Okay. We have a special responsibility in this moment and in this movement, because the underpinnings of the movement that put Donald Trump into office is white Christian fascist nationalism. And it is imperative on us to go back to our communities of faith and challenge it at its very core. I don't know what those individuals think. When I read as a theologian the gospel, I see an itinerant preacher from Galilee who so shook the power structure in his own day that they hunted him down in the middle of the night, they trumped up charges against him, they beat him publicly, and then hung him on a dump outside of the city to die between two criminals. He was no imperialist. His message is one of liberation to the poor. He said, I came to bring good news to the poor. Generally, that means bad news to the rich and the powerful. And in this situation, Donald Trump has been both of those in the arc of his private life and in his public life. So I say to all my fellow Christians out there, the way that Donald Trump animates in this world is Academy in Lincroft, New Jersey, where I now serve as a soccer coach. Lean Republican, was going to go to Wall Street and be retired by the time I was in my 30s. Grew up with and had my entire worldview shattered. A company that completely violates everything that we claim to stand for as the largest Catholic university in the nation at the time. Nike was it. At the same time that I'm writing this paper over in theology, over in athletics, we are negotiating a $3.5 million endorsement contract with Nike. And part of that deal, I would have to wear and promote Nike's products. I took a stand, and I said I would not be a walking advertisement for a company that was exploiting people around the world. And I said that as a Catholic institution, we should not be in partnership with a company like this. And I was eventually given an ultimatum. You will wear Nike and you will drop this issue or get out. I was forced to resign because I held my ground. I became and still am the only athlete in the world to say no to Nike because of their sweatshop abuses. And I started getting criticized back then. I would go to colleges, high schools, be in radio talk shows, TV interviews. You don't know what you're talking about. Those are great jobs for those poor people. What the hell else would they be doing? Now, I knew from my academic research they were wrong. The athlete in me wanted to prove them wrong. That competitor in me wanted to prove them wrong. So in the summer of 2000, I moved to Tangerang, Indonesia. And for 1 month, tried to survive on a Nike sweatshop wage, $1.25 a day at the time. I lived in a rat-infested slum, crawled over by cockroaches each night, and I lost 25 pounds. Home, and I will advocate I spent 15 years working on that issue full-time, going back and forth across the United States, going back and forth to Indonesia to meet with workers over and over again. And I share this story not so that you clap for me, but I share it because each of us has to know our origin story and to be able to share it with people. Being kidnapped by God into the Nike sweatshop issue radicalized me on a range of Park, where we fought for affordable housing, where we fought for a homeless shelter to be built, where we fought for good jobs for people that were unemployed. All of us care about. I imagine everybody here believes that health care is a human right. Yes? And the solution to dealing with our health care issue is a universal single-payer system called Medicare for each and every one. And driving up the cost of housing and the cost. Imagine that each and every one of you here believe that we should be spending more on military-industrial complex to slaughter people around the world. I imagine each of you believe that we should not be funding and arming the genocide in Gaza. And that needs to stop. I would imagine that each one of you here believes that we should have a humane immigration. Constitutional republic and our representative democracy that